I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. Jimmy Dean. Today, I'm bringing you a Boss Up Books segment, and you don't want to miss this one because this book can truly change the way you run your business. You have the power to be the boss of your own life. I'm your host, Monica Allen. I'm a wife, mom, entrepreneur, best-selling author, lifelong learner, and your biz bestie. I have a love and passion for all things small business. Growing my own company from $700 to over 7 figures annually, my goal is to bring you inspiration, business-focused topics and tips, encouragement, and a community that helps you launch, grow, and scale your business, whether you are a dreamer, a side hustler, or a seasoned entrepreneur. You are listening to the Become Your Own Boss podcast. Most of us do not give much thought to our exit plan from our business when we initially get started. And though most of us don't like to talk about it, we are definitely not always going to be the person running our companies. So we do need to give some thought to what our businesses look like when we are no longer around, or just when we decide that we no longer want to work. I want to share the book Exit Rich with you by Michelle, Seiler, Tucker, and Sharon Lechter. This is my most recent Boss Up book segment, and it is my first selection for this 6th season of the podcast. Being 20 years into my entrepreneurial game or my entrepreneurial journey, I can honestly say that I have not given much thought to this, especially when we got started. We enthusiastically started our business and just began to grind to make it work. I can recall the flood of new ideas we had in the beginning. We simply wanted to take over the world. And honestly, we still kind of do. But as I get older, I do find myself thinking, will this be a family business? Will the kids take over? Should it be sold someday so it's not a burden on them? Or if they really would like to pursue a different career or simply do something else, should we not even worry about the family business type of thing? I don't know. Have you given these things any thought? I picked up this book after hearing the author, Michelle Seiler Tucker, on another podcast, and I thought, wow, this book sounds powerful. And it is. This book will simply make you look at your business differently. With more of a microscope or magnifying glass, it gives you the steps to run a successful business, a more efficient business, even if you never consider selling it. So I will give you just the highlights, and then you need to pick it up to gather the detailed bits and bolts, because Michelle, along with her co-author Sharon Lechter, shares a lot of details for getting your business sold at a premium, or again, just making your business more successful, even if it remains under your reins. Creating the ST6P method, Michelle has concisely given us 6 areas of our businesses that we need to focus on to exit rich. They are people, products, process, proprietary, patrons, and profit. This Boss Up Books segment is being brought to you by Wix Design Her. If your business is buried in Google rankings, or if people are having a hard time finding you online, Wix Design Her has a free resource just for you. You can now outrank your competitors online by grabbing the SEO Planning Guide by Wix Design Her. And the best part, as I mentioned before, it's free. Inside this easy-to-use guide, you'll discover your keywords and unlock the secret of how to best optimize your site for organic growth. If you're ready to start seeing more traffic to your website, be sure to grab the free SEO planning guide at wixdesignher.com. That's Wix, W-I-X, design, her, H-E-R.com. I'm just going to give you a brief description of each. First, people. Every business has responsibilities that must be handled by someone. If most or all of the tasks are handled by the owner, then you do not have a business that is ready to sell. You must put processes in place and an organizational chart and begin to hire and train the right people to oversee specific tasks in order to grow your business to a point of being able to sell it. A buyer wants to know that a business can continue to run without the owner. Now, truthfully, this is an area that we've got to work on because we've had many team members in the past, and Ethan and I have been able to kind of venture out and do our own things, and our team was great to run it with the operating procedures that we had in place. But honestly, after COVID, we've had to hit the reset button. And now we're back in the mode of being a little bit more in the weeds, in the day-to-day, and having to do a lot of the things that we used to have other people doing. So we've got to rebuild that. The next one that Michelle talks about is product. This one is quite simple because Michelle tells us in the very first paragraph of this chapter to ask ourselves whether our product or service is on the way up or on the way down. In other words, are you the next Blockbuster video or are you the next Netflix? So that's a good question. Where are our products in this? The next one is process. Is your process efficient and or proprietary? If it is, this will be more attractive to a buyer. I'll be honest, our process, especially on the embroidery side, can be very complicated. Because we do so much custom stuff, our process is a really steep learning curve. It is not something that I can pull someone off the street, teach them in a couple of days, and they're ready to go. It just doesn't work for the customization or the customization level that we do on our products to be able to do that. Proprietary. Do you have intellectual property such as brands, patents, trademarks, databases, contracts in place, etc.? Now, we've trademarked our businesses. That's under our corporate umbrella. We have a recognizable brand in the industry that we work in. But, and we have a pretty good database of customers because we began building our email list years and years ago. But we know that one of the things that we could work on is getting more contracts in place. Next one, patrons. Do you have a loyal client base who will go out of their way to purchase your products and services? Remember, a business without customers is not a business. I truly feel like we have this one covered pretty well. But what about you? What do you think? The next one is profits. Are you operating at the highest profit margin for your specific industry? Now, without profit, eventually your business will not work because you need that excess profit to either invest back in your business or, of course, you pay taxes on it depending on how your company is structured. But profit is very important. So those are the 6 P's that Michelle and Sharon talks about. With each chapter, they give you instructions and ways to make your business better and more attractive to a buyer in these 6 areas. Now, this book is almost 300 pages. And in part 3, they get a little more granular in the selling of your business and talk about things like staging your business for sale, confidentiality, how to create a bidding war for your business. Now, that would be pretty cool. The type of buyers and so much more. If you are interested at all in selling your business in the future, or if you just have an interest in setting up a business that can possibly be sold in the future, you want to pick up this book. Now, the title of the book itself is exciting, right? Exit Rich. And it would be really great for all of us to exit our businesses with a nice chunk of change because we put so much of our heart, our time, our energy into growing our businesses. So I definitely strongly recommend this book. I personally plan on using Exit Rich more like a workbook, focusing on getting these 6 P's right in our business. Some of our P's are stronger than others, but I want them all to be in tip-top shape. And honestly, we still have not quite figured out our exit strategy, as our son Legend tells us often that one day he's going to be the boss of this place. So maybe he will. But in the interim, even if he is, I want to make sure that we set him up with a business that is focused on the right areas and that are successful in the 6 P's to make sure that our business lives for many, many generations to come. I love bringing you all the Boss Up Books segments because I know that over 20 years, I have read a lot of books, and those books have really made a difference in how I have grown my business, how we run our business, the things that we've learned around leadership and management, hiring, firing, all the things. So much of it we gained from books. And so I love to bring you books to read and to check out that I think can really help your business grow and scale, and to make sure that you get set up on the right foundation. And what excited me so much about Exit Rich is not so much around the Exit Rich, though I love the title. It really is about setting up those 6 P's in your business, no matter where you are. But I truly feel like if you can start at the beginning, if you can start right now, if you are 1 year in, 2 year in, 5 years in, then you are setting your business up for success. And that to me is so important because then it will last the test of time. So regardless of what you're thinking right now, whether you're thinking, yes, I'm going to sell my business at some point, or you're just thinking, I do want to pass this on to my kids or to family members, whatever you're thinking about, or even if you're not at that point yet, setting your business up using this book, I think will help tremendously because these are definitely areas that we need to focus on in our businesses. And this book just makes it so concise. I would also like to add that, this is not an advertisement for a book. It is truly a book that I picked up and I thought would be a great resource for all of us. So I'd love to know what you think. If you have an opportunity to pick up the book and read the book or do the audiobook, I love audiobooks. And a lot of times when I'm doing these segments, I also buy the hard copy because it lets me dive a little bit deeper. But let me know what you think of the book. You can always send me a DM on Instagram at Become Your Own Boss Podcast. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for listening today. As always, I'm grateful for you. Please take a moment to pop over to monicaallen.com and join the Become Your Own Boss community if you haven't done so already. The community is really here to support you along your entrepreneurial journey. As I've said before, entrepreneurship can be lonely, but it doesn't have to be. So join the BYOB community so I can better support you. Also, take a moment to rate and review the podcast. And speaking of reviewing the podcast, the winner of the $50 Amazon gift card is Gut Personal. So if you are that person who left me such a wonderful review on Apple, please email me at monica@monicaallen.com so I can get you your gift card. You will somehow need to prove that you are Gut Personal. So if you have a handle that matches that, please make sure you send me the screenshot of that as well. Again, that's monica@monicaallen.com. Now is the time. Now is the time to level up, leave a legacy, and Exit Rich can help you do that and become your own boss.